Hello assholes, Jay here.
Matt here.
Sean here.
And right now we are settling down to, I'm optimistically going to call it a feast. It is a lot of food, if not good food. We're not sure about that yet. But Star Wars is our theme of the evening.
All this is Star Wars?
Yes, well we've got Baby Yoda salad.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Raised portion bread up top. And then mashed chokeroot and fried Endorian tip-yip.
The fried Endorian tip-yip looks really good.
Well, let's hope it lives up to that.
Okay.
Tip-yip, if you're wondering,
I am.
is a bird native to the moons of Endor.
Well, this is quite a get then.
Yeah, it is. We had to special order that. Yeah. All right, let's dig in, fellas.
Okay.
With the Endor? With the
Whatever you like. There's
okay.
really no rule here. So, Galaxy's Edge, which is the new Star Wars land in Disney World and Hollywood Studios, has a lot of restaurants and bars and milk bars that you can visit while you're there, and you can spend the whole time eating like an alien. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to really pin down what to call them since they're from all over the place. I guess Galaxy's Edge is Batu, right?
Yep, that's right.
I don't know what that is. A Batubian? Probably not. Anyways, we'll ask George Lucas later. So yeah, you can chow down on all sorts of stuff. And handily, they have a cookbook that you can bring home and keep the party alive. So, thanks, Sean. So you've had a first few bites. Is this tasting familiar or is this strange?
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's not strange.
Okay.
It's very tasty.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that tip-yip tastes like chicken?
Doesn't
A little
everything
bit.
taste like chicken?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's good. And the chokeroot is surprisingly palatable.
Oh, okay. Because I don't know if you know this, but that is sort of a thing. The chef who first made this in the Star Wars universe, didn't really want to even deal with chokeroot because it was a bland food and he was, above it. But when he tasted this, he confessed that it was a palatable, inoffensive way to use the vegetable.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
So I take it as a Star Wars type of mashed potato.
Yeah, it
Because
seems like it. With
the
the
cookbook
cheese
does
and
tell you could substitute mashed potato,
Oh.
but I thought that would be boring.
So, is it green on Zandu?
What now?
I don't know.
Do you think Rey comes from Xanadu?
Where does she come from? It's because Jakku.
Jakku,
Jakku, yeah.
Is it green on Jakku?
Mhm.
Like the thing in the movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember, to be honest.
I mean, it's not green.
That's
I mean,
true.
if you think about it, everything is kind of green.
Mm-hmm.
He agreed, so I feel like I'm even off the hook on that.
Well, it's true though.
There's butter here. I don't know if that enhances it or if it masks anything, or Sean has remained steadfastly away from it, I notice.
I would
He
say
even ate salad before he ate the bread, so that is major.
I would actually say, and I mean this, there is no masking this.
Okay.
That's,
Shit.
no, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying
That sounds like it.
it. I'm just saying it's still going to be what it is.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe this as an interesting?
Yeah.
It tastes.
Earthy.
Yes.
Well, it is made with matcha powder. So, for those of us who know what matcha powder is, you will not be surprised that it maybe tastes earthy. But
When you take a bite of it, it kind of looks a little like Yoda.
I guess, if you nibble correctly, you could
Yeah.
have Baby Yoda and aged Yoda, old man Yoda, 900-year-old Yoda, or maybe even just 850-year-old Yoda if you nibble generously, I guess.
That's a bit solid.
Yeah, so I was wondering, guys, if you have a favorite Star Wars movie. Sean does. Do you have one, Matt?
Kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I kind of do.
Okay, well...
And it's a weird one.
Oh, well, I was hoping.
It's not a Star Wars Christmas.
Okay, so it's not as weird as it might be, but okay.
I think my favorite is The Force Awakens.
Okay.
I find it benefits a lot from everything that came before. So having the returning characters is really exciting. The new characters are exciting. It blends new and old really well. Some familiar, like famous actors are new to Star Wars, and some like at the time unknowns like Daisy Ridley or John Boyega. It was, to me, the most exciting experience for watching a Star Wars movie. And of course, some of the credit goes to the original trilogy for laying the groundwork for that, obviously.
And I mean, you and I are young enough that when we watched Star Wars for the first time, like, which for me was just a couple of months ago, you know, you will have already lived in a world where this is like a really big deal, and so it has penetrated pop culture fully. So you know a lot about the movies before you see them. So it's not, we're not really having the same experience as being a kid who is like, you know, seeing them almost as they're being released and excited for them. And so for us, they were almost spoiled, and they looked old to us.
Yeah, they were already old when I watched them.
They were already old, so it's hard. Mine is The Last Jedi for a lot of those reasons. But I just felt like it was a movie that I took home and I thought on and I thought on. And the more I thought about it, the more I read into the movie. And I really loved pulling the old and the new and sort of forging new paths and being brave about it and talking about things that a lot of movies don't like to talk about, but especially this type of movie where historically has been pretty like black, dark and light, I should say, I guess in this case, but you know, it's really interesting stuff where we're seeing between the lines a little bit more. Everything is a little more blurred in these ones. And Sean,
Empire Strikes Back.
oh boy, we knew it.
Yep.
Everyone knew it was coming.
I was gonna get that.
It's a cliche, but it is the best one.
Cliches are for a reason.
That's true.
Hey, I actually was thinking about this when I was thinking how yours was probably Empire Strikes Back. Was Darth Vader's, with the twist of Darth Vader being the father, was that a surprise to you?
Yes.
So it hadn't been spoiled when you saw it? Because obviously for me it was spoiled.
Yeah, I'm like 3.5 years old when this movie comes out.
Right.
So, no one told me before I saw The Empire Strikes Back on video that this was going to happen.
Because Luke, I am your father is one of the most famous lines in cinema history. The thing is, I'm really good at avoiding spoilers, because when I hear a spoiler, I just sort of like convince myself, like I'm like, you hear a Darth Vader voice being like, Luke, I am your father, and I'll just be like, that could mean anything, really.
Open to interpretation.
Yeah, it's like, well, who knows what that means? I'll just go watch the movie and see for myself. And I sort of convinced myself I didn't know the twist ending. Same thing with The Sixth Sense. If someone spoiled it for me, I was just like,
Oh no.
Well, I'm gonna let it all play out.
Maybe my ending will be different.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, half the time people try and throw me off the scent with a fake twist ending anyway.
Maybe
so.
they pee during that part.
Yeah.
Who knows? Okay. So, do you have a best memory from our trip to Galaxy's Edge?
The best memory from our trip to Galaxy's Edge. There's so many. I would say building.
Well, you can only have one best memory.
But I have lots of best memories.
No, dear. One is the best. Many might be good.
Building a lightsaber.
Okay.
Very cool. Just a really neat experience.
I'll have to put the link up here so you can check out the video if you want.
It's really great.
Yeah, it's the link right up here.
Yeah, that's the one. Wherever it is, it's moving around.
You're right there. You can see it.
So you like building a lightsaber.
I love building a lightsaber.
We heard Yoda when we were there. That was very, like, even I was impressed by that. I mean, they take that very seriously. You get your money's worth.
You do. Yeah, I mean,
It's
not
an experience.
cheap, but it's worth it.
It's not just a shopping trip.
Well, I wanted to say the first or second, I can't remember which ride on Smuggler's Run was my favorite. It was either the first or second. Actually, third was really good too, but I think my favorite memory was actually getting yelled at by Kylo Ren. Just walking just walking through the park and not looking where I was going and walking right into him and him yelling like, "Get back!"
Yeah, I mean he's pretty serious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there are any friendly encounters with that guy in the park.
No. I got off lucky there, actually.
Yes, some people have been hauled off to jail, so I think you were lucky in that encounter. Good thing you straightened up. Well, I think for me it was riding the Millennium Falcon, but I didn't go. Did I go with you guys the first time?
Yeah,
Yes, I did.
first time,
Didn't
yeah.
I? My goodness.
Yeah.
And I was a pilot. Nobody should have made me a pilot. There are 2 pilots in the Millennium Falcon, and then 2 gunners and 2 engineers. And I learned through experience that I like being an engineer. You sit in the back. You have a lot to do.
You're good at it.
And I am good at it. But it also, like, you can really concentrate if you want, if you're like, you know, have a good work ethic, you take pride in your work as an engineer. You could concentrate on your little console and just press buttons the whole ride. And if you do not look full on at the screen, you don't know that you're like falling to your death as much.
Yeah.
Which I found a big improvement from being a pilot who is causing everyone to fall to their deaths, because I super did cause that. And the pilots really do play a big part in how smoothly your ride goes. At our ride, we're not smooth. And I was, you know, let's just say this type of experience convinces me. It's my brain is very susceptible to these recreations. And like, I think I'm dying, but also like I'm screaming as the ship is being battered with things because I'm not controlling things and I'm running into everything. And like there's a giant slug and he's trying to eat us, and it was horrible. And you forget that like there was a whole point to this ride, which was to smuggle the stuff. And then you're like, where was the stuff? I was so concerned with not killing everyone that we really did not do very well in smuggling at all.
We did pretty well.
No, we didn't. We did the worst you can do.
Is that right?
Did we?
Yeah.
I didn't know that you could do better than that.
Oh, you could do much better than that. And the thing is, the ride kind of tells you. I mean, obviously it tells you. You get a printout of how well you've done. Not an actual physical printout, but your little console tells you. But when you leave, the like walkways you go through are reacting to your ride. So if you come out and you've done well, it's all beautiful, lit. When you come out and you haven't done well, like the lights are flickering and there's like an alarm sounding. And
oh yeah.
You're really doing a walk of shame.
I missed that alarm sounding. Is that bad?
Yes.
It's bad.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. That means we did a shameful job. We probably can't even afford to come back.
Well, I can't imagine doing better than I did as a gunner or an engineer, because I was all over all those buttons.
It's not just about you, though.
Oh,
There are 6 people in the ship, and if you have a bad pilot.
I guess, but we never had a bad pilot.
Well, we had me, and then we often did. I think we never had like, Sean was pretty good. By the end, he was
It
really
was getting good.
figuring things out.
Yeah, but we had some bad pilots.
We sure did. And Sean gave up his pilot seat to bad pilots.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I knew, I was like, oh, this is our best chance of finally doing well, because we ride, I don't know how many times we did this ride.
A lot.
And we will do it more later this year.
Yeah.
But, and they have a new thing, Matt, I don't know if you heard, they have a new thing where there's a special sequence where if everybody hits their buttons just right, and I do mean everybody, there are 6 people, everybody has to agree on this, and like when we went, we're only 3, so we're gonna have 3 strangers in there with us. Everybody has to hit the right sequence, and then you get to fly with Chewie. So that's really fun. I have no idea if we'll be able to accomplish that, because our next trip we will be going with 6 people, but some of them are me. So what is the chance that I will get this right? Very slim. But I think we'll probably try. Okay. So Sean.
Yes, Jay?
I was wondering, what makes Boba Fett cool? We had the other night, you may have seen the video, Boba Fett Ticini. Because Boba Fett is one of Sean's favorite characters. And then when I watched the movie, I was like, this guy? This is the guy you've been talking about?
He's
like,
worse.
he's nothing.
No.
Like, he's barely a part.
Yeah, he's in it for like
Like, I'm
6
surprised
minutes,
he even
I
has
think.
a name. Do they name him by name in the thing?
Yeah, he's one of the bounty hunters.
Okay.
So he does get named because he's the one that tracks down Han Solo.
Okay.
That's the only cool thing he does, because he figures out that Han Solo is hanging off of the side of a Star Destroyer, and just waiting for them to go into hyperspace.
Wow.
So Boba Fett hangs out and then follows them to Cloud City.
Okay.
So that's how he catches them.
Uh-huh.
And that's a pretty good move, because there's like a bunch of bounty hunters that are after him. But then he's the worst. He's just like, it's very slapsticky in Return of the Jedi when he falls to his death about 10 minutes into the movie.
Oh, is that when they're trying to throw them into the pit?
That's
like,
right.
Suffering for thousands?
Yeah.
I love that scene though, because he jumps off the diving board and he like grabs onto it and flips.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not what gets Boba Fett. Boba Fett gets got because Han Solo is still blind, accidentally hits him with like I don't know, it's a big stick, basically.
Okay.
And causes his jetpack to malfunction. He goes flying off, he smacks his face into Jabba the Hutt's barge, and he falls down into the pit that they're trying
I'm
to
glad it was his barge. I thought that was going somewhere else for a minute.
And then he's done.
Oh, it's not a cool way to go.
No, but he's got a really cool costume, so he's a cool toy.
I mean, I know you think that, but like, I
Also-
look at that costume and I'm like, I mean, it looks like he's wearing like a metal bucket.
Yeah, he is.
That's like the whole inspiration.
Most of them are.
Well, I think a lot of them are plastic.
Well, okay. But he did, the toy, the original version, had a firing rocket on his back.
Oh, is this why you
I
like
think
him?
this is part of it.
Okay, now we're
I
getting
never
it.
got it. Like, that toy is worth like $10,000.
No.
Because it never was released.
Oh.
Like, they were worried about kids shooting out their eyes, rightfully so. So they changed it.
That's bizarre.
I'm having
Yeah.
trouble picturing this rocket.
It's on his back. He has a jetpack, but then he has like a rocket as well. So
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I still don't get it. And like, you're not the only one. Boba Fett is like
he's
a
cool.
thing.
Yeah.
And I don't get it.
But now it's a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Same armor, but shiny. And way cooler guy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
He hasn't died in a stupid
No,
way
he's
yet.
done cool things. He's like really good at fighting.
But isn't really Baby Yoda the breakout star of The Mandalorian?
Oh,
Shouldn't
absolutely.
it really just be called Baby Yoda?
I think it should be called both. Baby Yoda.
I mean, they
and
don't
Mandalorian.
ever call him Baby Yoda. They call him like the child.
Right.
I don't think anybody has called him Baby Yoda. And
Yeah.
maybe his name is not even Yoda. We don't know.
I mean, his name
Probably not.
shouldn't be Yoda.
No. I suppose it would be weird if they were all called Yoda.
It would be.
But I don't know who gets to name this guy.
I don't think you
Nobody
can.
has yet. That's anyways. Okay.
Is Mandalorian a good guy or a bad guy?
He turns into a good guy.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a progression.
I'll watch that one day.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I'll stop talking about it so I don't ruin it for you.
Oh, you haven't?
Well, that's good. Because you'll just pretend I didn't say anything.
Yeah, exactly. That could mean anyway.
But also, we're just in the first season, so really, nothing has happened. I mean,
Is
that
the first
literally
season
is.
done yet?
Yes,
It is.
it finished at Christmas.
Okay.
But it took us a while. We were right on top of them all along, but then the last one aired around Christmas time. And we went to Mexico, which is how we discovered Mexico doesn't have Disney Plus because we couldn't watch it. So I had to wait till we got back. And that was fine.
For Jake.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Well, thanks for this discussion, guys. I guess I'll let you, well, Sean's ready for seconds,
I'm done,
I see.
yeah.
I don't know if the tip-yip agree with you, but I guess we'll sign off here. And, look at the links down below or up here. We don't know. Maybe there's a big box right here. Click on something. We got lots of cool stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.